So this year for SUV of the Year we were at Fontana, California, and out of a field of about 20 SUVs we narrowed down to 6 finalists that were a pretty diverse field, from the Kia Seltos to the Cadillac Escalade, but only one stood out the most, one we really loved, and that's the Land Rover Defender. So how do we pick Motor Trend's SUV of the Year? We have 6 criteria, and the Land Rover Defender really nailed every single one. So Land Rover had the hard task of really modernizing the Defender's design. The Defender design has been around for decades, and coming up with a new design that's still recognizable is something very hard. Yet they nailed it. It's modern, it's handsome, it's cool, yet it's still recognizable as a Defender. So that trend that you see outside continues inside, with the exposed bolts, for example. And besides that, there's also modern touches, like this huge tray that you have from the front passenger that expands into the driver. It's super utilitarian. In terms of engineering excellence, the Land Rover Defender changed completely. First of all, it got rid of the live axles and brought in an independent suspension. There's an optional air suspension on the Defender that's not only capable of going off-road, but also it's super smooth and refined in the highway. And that's something that's really hard to do in utilitarian vehicles. Whether it's to the trail or on the freeway, the Defender drives really well, really smooth, and it's very capable. It just reinforces that idea of being able to go everywhere. It starts at $50,000, which can seem like a lot of money, but when you look at the Land Cruiser or the G-Wagon, which are two of its main competitors, those two start at about $90,000, at least the Land Cruiser does. You might be thinking, well, the Jeep Wrangler is much cheaper than that, and yeah, that's true, but when it's equipped to the levels of the Defender, a Wrangler Rubicon can go upwards of $60,000. Efficiency is not the Defender's strongest point, but when you compare it to the segment, it actually stands out. It gets up to 22 miles per gallon on the freeway, and that's a lot when you compare it to the Mercedes G-Wagon or the Toyota Land Cruiser. Safety-wise, the Defender hasn't been tested in America, but in Europe it got 5 stars, and that gives you an idea of how safe the vehicle is. And besides that, it also has a lot of active safety features like automatic braking, lane keep assist, blind spot monitor, and weight sensing that tells you how to go water fording in a safe way. So the reason the Land Rover Defender won is not only because it nailed the technical aspects, it's because it also won our hearts. It's the one that really felt really emotional and had that emotional pull. The Defender was the coolest one, the one that we love driving, the one that from every angle you just look at it and you're like, wow, that's a very cool vehicle. Redesigning an icon is an extremely hard job to do, but Land Rover did it. Congratulations to Motor Trend 2021 SUV of the Year, the Land Rover Defender.